Then let's start. Okay. Yeah, it's on. Okay. Let's get this bit on. Okay. So we're live.
Perfect.
Okay, so welcome everybody to what is this? Just my live stream with my client Brandon. Okay, so this is my client, Brandon Benitez, who I absolutely love. Brandon is from Panama, but he lives in Amsterdam right now. And Brandon has been my client now for the last 6 months. And what we're going to do today is just talk a little bit about his story and his journey, and his journey with this work, and basically how he has completely overcome his anxiety and panic attacks to the point where he can't just be completely happy now and just live his life. Right, so if you're joining us live, if you're gonna watch live, please leave a comment, just saying hey, or if you're watching on the replay as well. Please share this conversation as well with anybody else that you feel may benefit from. Okay, so welcome, Brandon.
Hi.
Thank you. So thank you for doing this. I know you're a little bit nervous, but yeah,
Okay.
all good. Thank you so much. Right, so if you want to just speak a little bit about like what things were like basically for you before we started to work together, like what was going on with you and what you were struggling with.
Yeah, so basically I started to have panic attacks and anxiety in 2017. And it wasn't till I had like many therapies and people trying to help me out, and I always felt like it never go away, or it was always there. And last year, I think from January till June, I was very busy with school and work, to the point that I was having panic attacks every week, like two times per week, panic attacks. I was always anxious. I couldn't sleep. Sometimes I couldn't get out of my bed. I was feeling very sad. I was feeling very insecure. I couldn't like even do my groceries or like travel, because it was like very hard and very scary. So I left Amsterdam and I went to Barcelona, and I was like, okay, now I just have to like forget about work, forget about like school. But I was just like, I was still like there having a good time, and I was still very tired, very nervous. I was trying to have a good time with my friends, but I was just like, why do I keep getting panic attacks every time? Why do I keep like being anxious about everything? So it was like a very hard struggle that I was just like, I'm just so tired of it.
Okay. I totally I could totally like get that, like when we started chatting, when we actually first talked about like when like maybe you wanted to do this work. What was the like, so out of all of that, okay, so like what was the hardest part about the whole thing? Like,
about
what you were going through, like what was the hardest part of it?
I think the hardest part was that I wasn't really able to do anything. I wasn't very happy. I was very like, I'm just living and I have to deal with this and there's no way out. I'm gonna have panic attacks and anxiety all the time. And I was just like, I'm not able to do anything. I'm not able to enjoy. I'm not able to like really be myself. So I was just like, I was missing that, like I wasn't being the same Brandon as before my anxiety, like my panic attacks. So that was the hard part. Yeah.
Okay. And what was it? Okay, so why did you decide to actually, like, I guess, hire me? Like, why did you decide to do this with me when you've tried a million different things before? Like, you've got so much help. What was it that made you actually say yes to doing this type of work?
Yeah. So Yeah, it was funny because we bumped into each other in, like last summer,
Yeah.
and
So just for anyone like that's just watching that doesn't, just to clarify, me and Brandon actually know each other from Dublin, where we both used to live. Like, so we're basically like old friends. And then last summer here in Barcelona, we kind of ran into each other. And that's when the conversation started up. Yeah.
Yeah. And when I started to talk about my problems and situation, how I was feeling, I felt like you were really listening to me and you could relate to my feelings and how I was like everything I was going through. And I felt like it was like a kind of like a good connection that we had. And I was like, well, this feels good. Maybe I should just try it. Why not? And then at that time I was like, I think just finished working with my therapist here in Amsterdam. And I was like, okay, I just finished this and I still feel bad.
Shit. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed.
So I'm like, okay, let's just give it a try. And then we met up for coffee and we had a good conversation. And I was like, okay, I think this is good. It feels good. I feel like you're listening to what I'm saying, and you maybe can help me. And I'm like, I'm just gonna try. And I'm like, why not? And what can go wrong? You know, like I've already been like through so much with like so many people. So I'm like, okay, just gonna give it a try.
So you were just done with it.
Yeah, I was just like, let's just do it.
Okay, so then you decided, yeah, let's do it. Let's do
Yeah.
this. Let's go for it. Okay. So what was it like working with me? Like, so we've basically been working together over the last 6 months.
Yeah.
And we are still working together. Like, we have a little bit of time left. But like, what has your experience been of working with me? What is it like to work with me?
I had no idea what to expect actually, because
Of course.
I was like, I had experience with like my previous therapist, and it's always like very so corporate, like, okay, hi Brandon, do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that, be anxious, don't be anxious. And I'm like, okay, thanks, but like that's not really helping me.
Thanks for noting.
Yeah. And the first session that we had, I remember like there was so much going on, and you were like, whoa, are you okay? So like from the beginning you were like really trying to put me like in a safe place, like, hey, we can talk about everything here, you're fine. And at the end of the session I was just like, oh my god, I feel so much calm, like I feel so much better right away. And that keeps happening every time that we have the sessions. And I'm like, when we have sessions, I really feel like you're listening and you go through my feelings and my thoughts, and you are able to really find out why I'm feeling the way I feel or how you can help me. And then I can, at the end of the session, I'm just like, wow, I always tell you, like, I feel so much lighter. I feel so much.
Yes.
And then I can continue with my day. And then I'm like, wow, this is like amazing, because I was like, this is like amazing feeling. Yeah, and I really like that. I really like that the way that we have these sessions is way different than everything that I had before.
A therapy session, like normal kind of therapy, conventional therapy.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. Oh my god. I'm getting like, I'm just being brought back to like when we had the first session. Like,
yeah, I remember.
I was just like, I remember when we sat down to do it, in my head, I was so excited. I was like, I cannot wait for him to just experience this.
Yeah. And oh my god, like now, like I have flashback from that time. Like I remember I was walking to you, and I was like super anxious. I was like,
of course.
Yeah, I was like, I was having a panic attack, and I'm like, oh my god, I know what to expect and everything. And like that Brandon is so different than this one here. So I'm just like, that's just, yeah.
Okay, so now that you brought that up, like that Brandon is so different to this one now that's in front of me, like that's in front of everyone. So what has changed since then? Like, what are the results that you've gotten?
Of course, my main goal was to overcome my anxiety and panic attacks and be able to have like a normal life, because because I was like really tired, like physically tired of like being anxious
Of
and being
course.
having panic attacks. And that really changed the way I was like with myself. Like I was very insecure. I was like, I'm scared of like what people are gonna think about me, or if I go out, or if I get a panic attack somewhere. Like I don't know. I was like, I will feel like very judged. And but one of the things that really changed and that I wasn't expecting to change was that I really started to love myself more, to feel more powerful, and to really enjoy being on my own, to know that I'm always safe, even though I'm on my own, and I can do things, and that things do get better. And those things like panic attacks, anxiety, they are just little things that, of course, I think everyone has it, right? But
Yeah, I mean, well, everyone gets a little bit of anxiety here
yeah,
and there, but like
but when you
in
have it,
general, like, yeah,
yeah,
what has changed in terms of that?
yeah. And now I don't have them, and now I'm just like,
Ah,
I can continue with my life, and I can do things that I couldn't do before.
of course.
Like
Well,
imagine like mm, like I said before, doing groceries. Like I will just like order something and just stay home, because
because you were so anxious.
yeah, and I didn't want to have like a panic attack just because I was like doing groceries. It's just like,
Yeah, oh my God.
yeah,
I actually feel that as you're talking about it, because like I can totally relate, because at one stage I did used to feel like that. Like I don't think I suffered as badly as you did, but I
yeah,
totally relate to that feeling where you don't even want to go out into public. So
no,
like that's amazing that like
yeah,
I love, that's my favorite part. That it's like you can literally just all those things that you could just do with your daily life now, that
yeah,
you just don't have to deal with that anxiety and the panic attacks
exactly,
anymore.
yeah,
Like it's just priceless. Like
yeah. And also like because like it of course at the beginning I had them, and then it started to like really like,
lesson and lesson
yeah,
and
and then I
lesson.
was very aware of like if I was going to have it, I'm like more relaxed and more like, hey, this is okay, you are gonna be fine. So also like really like helping myself to be okay with it, and not really think about like this is bad or something, you know. I was like,
Yeah.
now I'm just like, thank God they're not there anymore.
Yeah. So
But
like, yeah, I totally get that.
yeah, but I'm super happy they are gone, because I can do things, I can be happy, I can continue, and I can,
And yeah, so what you were just saying there is like when you like, because you'll still have like some moments where you might feel a little bit of anxiousness come up about whatever, about something. But like, yeah, like you were just saying there that like now if you ever feel nervous or anxious about anything, you're actually able to just be like, okay, what is this? This is nothing, everything's fine. Like
yeah,
that little bit that comes up, but like,
yeah,
so
yeah. Now,
that's really powerful as well. Like,
yeah, that's and that also like makes me feel, I think we talked about this before too, like before I would like be like, if I would have a panic attack, I'd be like, oh, again. But now I'm more like, I don't have them, and I'm more like, every time that I have these like little weird thoughts, I'm just like, no, they're nothing. And then I
that's
feel also
gone.
very proud of myself, because I'm like, you are really helping yourself to just like feel better. And I'm like, I'm feeling better. That's a good thing, you know.
Yeah, you're in control now.
Yes, that's the word. I'm in control. And
Totally.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's so amazing. So, what surprised you most about this work? Like, what surprised you most about actually working with me?
um I think how fast things change. Yes,
I'm
because
always saying this, but yeah. That's what it is.
because I'm like, okay, it has been, I had my first panic attack in 2017, and I was working with many people before, But I
Many
started work
people, what kind of people?
like
Just to clarify.
therapists and like from like this kind of
Conventional therapy, kind of like.
yeah.
Okay.
And we started to work together in July.
No,
August.
it was August, kind of like September, nearly September.
Yeah.
September.
So I can't believe that after 6 months I'm feeling this way, and that it happened. Like that's the thing that surprised me the most, because I'm like wow, like I thought like something like this will never
happen.
Yeah.
I
So
know.
I think like the time, like in such a short time, really helped me to like really overcome my panic attacks and my anxiety, and to feel better, be happier. And I would say that the time that
How fast.
yeah
I
how
love
fast.
that because it's because you just said it there. You were just like, I didn't even think that I could change it.
No, exactly. I was like,
And that has, for me, that has been the happiest part for me about actually working with you, is just showing you that and go, look.
yeah.
Because I remember we were talking, when I was telling you, no, like you don't have to deal with that, like you can actually change it. And you were
And I
just
was like, no,
really?
that
No. I've had this for years. I was like, yeah, you can. Oh, I love that. I'm so happy
yeah.
for you. Okay, so what, I think you mentioned it before, but like just what, so basically when we started this work, the goal was to just like not have panic attacks and like that, like anxiety every day, like, right?
Yeah.
And we did that, right? Okay. But like what else has changed that you weren't expecting, from this work? Like,
I feel that in many of the sessions that we had, you were able to really dig into things in my past that I had no idea were affecting me daily. And they were very heavy, and they were like a very weight, like they had like a big weight on my shoulder.
weight on your shoulders.
Yeah. And I feel that um, that's something that also helped me to feel more calm and more relaxed and more happier, because I'm leaving those things behind, and you were able to really see that. And I didn't even realize that they were affecting me. So I think those things too, and that made me like help me. And I also feel that like I'm very looking forward for more things now. Like I'm just like now that I don't have this panic attack, or I don't feel anxious, and everything that happened in the past is like, in the past I'm more like, okay, now what else? What can do? What?
Yeah.
So
what can we do now?
yeah. So I feel like also like growing, and like a personal growth kind of thing, like more like.
Yeah.
So I think
Totally.
that too. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I think what you're saying there is like, so you wanted to work on like the anxiety and panic attacks and kind of like stop them, but what you obviously didn't realize was that everything that we dealt with that happened in your past is what was keeping that all together.
Yeah.
So you didn't realize that like when we went to do this work, that all of that stuff in the past was gonna kind of just get taken off your shoulders at the same time, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's amazing that
Yeah.
like you got way more than what you bargained for. Oh, I could talk to you all day about this.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I remember like the first time we talked about this, and it was just like, I don't know. It was just so natural, like just such a flow. And
Okay, so what kind of like, what advice would you give to anybody? Let's say if there's someone else out there just like you, just like the old version of you, that is actually maybe is watching this, or that actually maybe is thinking about working with me and they're on this work, like, and they're not sure. Maybe they're thinking like you, maybe they're thinking like, oh, maybe this nothing will work. Like, what's the advice that you would give to anybody that's sitting here just thinking and they're not sure they're actually starting this work?
I would say that first, I think like if I see myself back then in the position I was like, no way this can go away. Like this is gonna take years. Like I don't know when it's gonna away. But working with you changed me a lot in such a short time when I wasn't like expecting that. And I'm very happy and grateful that that just like came to my life. So I'm very happy for that. But I think like they should give it a try. They should like reach out and talk to you and just like, try it, because it's gonna
lose, really.
yeah, exactly. It's like if you were like me, like someone that tried with everything before and you feel like, okay, there's nothing else I can do. Yeah, there is something you can do. And like I feel like if you try and you see how you can help them, that's just like definitely gonna change you and make you feel better. And yeah, I think that will yeah.
What would you say? Because it's something, this is just something that's coming now, because I always feel like when people have issues like this, especially if they've gone to different types of therapies in the past and they've spoke to maybe psychologists or counselors or therapists, I always feel that people are afraid to come and do this work again because they're afraid of the way that they'll feel when they're doing the sessions.
Yeah.
Like they're afraid of what will come up. But like, what could you say about that? Like, what was your experience been, and how kind of like, yeah, like what could you say to people about that? Like, was it as bad as you thought it'd be? Did it feel as bad, or like was it easy? Like, what was?
You mean like working with them, working with you, or?
Yeah, like, so what's different between working with and doing normal therapy and then doing what we did? Like, what's the difference?
Yeah.
So just to make that clearer for anybody that might be watching.
So yeah, as I said before, so I had like my therapists, like psychologists, and also like at uni, like university, my counselors and everything. But it always felt like they were just there. Like there was no one actually like really listening. And well,
you know, it's so bad. I know, but it's like it's true. Like for some people,
true, yeah. And when working with you, it feels more personal. It feels like you really, because of course you have like different clients and different kind of situations, and I think you adapted to how you were able to help me, and you really understood what I was going through, and you were like, I know a way I can help you out. And it also feels like you are like working with you. It's not like even working, but it feels like more like always feels like a conversation with someone I know for so long, like it's so nice. It's so like, yeah, relax, calm, and
so it's easy.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't know if I have any more questions to ask you. Hold on one sec. Yeah, no, that's it.
Okay.
Thank you
No
so
worries.
much for being here. Obviously, I'm obsessed with you and I love talking with you.
Oh, I love
any moment we can.
Yeah.
But okay, so for anyone that's actually watching this live or is going to be watching the replay, if you want to actually get a chance to experience like this work that we're doing, that helped Brandon to get these results, you can sign up to my free masterclass, which is happening on Tuesday next week. So Tuesday the 8th, and it's going to be at 8 p.m. like European time. Yeah, you can get all the details in the link. I'll pop the link into the comment section. But what we're going to do in this masterclass is I'm going to introduce you to the work that I use to help people like Brandon. get the results that they do in such a short time. So we're going to teach you all about the work that I do to help people overcome these issues. And you're actually going to experience it firsthand. So you're going to get a chance to actually work with me one-to-one on the call. And there's going to be tons of like group. I'm going to do a clearing for the whole group on the call. Like there's going to be a lot happening. Like it's mainly going to be a lot of like receiving this work and getting a taste of it. So yeah, you can sign up for that if you're interested. It's called Overcome Your Anxiety and Panic Attacks. How simple. So if you struggle like Brandon did, and you want to find out a way that you can actually overcome it exactly like Brandon did, then you can sign up for this masterclass. It's completely free. And if you can't attend it live, there'll be a replay as well, and you'll still get all the benefits. So yeah, that's it. So thank you everyone for watching, whoever's watching, and Brandon, thank you so much. I love you.
Thank you.
And have a good day.
You too.
See you all later. Okay. Bye.
Bye.